Welcome back, fellow truth seekers. We're back with another video all about creepy tips and conspiracies. If you're into that kind of thing, make sure to stick around and hit that subscribe button and leave me an alien emoji if you want to win a Amazon gift card. Alright, let's jump right in.
Can I show you a scary video? Slight trigger warning, this video did make me jump. This video comes from a YouTube channel called True Horror POV. This video was uploaded in 2020, and they actually claim it was based on true events. I'm just gonna show you the video, here it is.
Thank you support agency invoice aku satu kat dalam. Kau check ada betul tak aku check banyak kali Sel. Betul. Saya dah check kau. Thanks support Thank you. Tahu dah malam ni. Tu lah kata. Apa ni aku nak cakap kau Paisel aku lambat. Dia dah cakap aku kau OT. Oh ya. Habis aku tadi tu ni aku dah plan order aku nak hantar lain-lain semua babynya aku macam push back. Sorry aku kesian kau balik kerja lapar. Tak apa je. Sedap pun. Thanks. Okay, bye. Okay. Kasih review. Bye. Okay, last.
Today, it is commonly believed that the record temperature rise in the atmosphere is due to human activity. However, it's obvious that this warming is, first of all, affected by the magma uplift.
Yeah, right. And now let's talk about the second piece of evidence that the magma is rising, which is the heating of the lower layers of the atmosphere, oceans, and glaciers due to new magma rivers are formed, eroding the mantle and approaching the crust. The global atmospheric research institutions have determined that one of the regions where the increase in temperature has been growing 2 to 3 times faster than the average of the planet is the territory of Siberia. It was in this direction that the course shifted in 1998. Because of this, magma beneath Siberia rose to the surface fastest. And now, there is a huge magma chamber burning its way through the crust of Siberia. Heating of the Earth's interior leads to abnormal melting of permafrost and gas explosions under the ice. In the Arctic part of Siberia, winter fires have appeared under the snow. And in the areas above fractures, the icy water in drinking well became hot, and the frequency.
Okay, so I really want to know your opinions on this. I really have like two ideas or theories that this could possibly be. One, Agartha, obviously. Two, it could be those nuclear generators that Russia like abandoned in Siberia, because why else would it only be happening in Siberia other than that they have generators that are just leaking radiation everywhere? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts.
The Earth could be much bigger than we thought. And you know what's really disturbing? I'll reveal it at the end. In recent years, there has been discussion about the Earth's actual shape, with some questioning whether it is spherical or flat. While some have suggested potential conspiracy theories exist, it's hypothesized that Earth could be much larger than we realize. The idea that only 7 continents exist seems limited. One proposal suggests Antarctica is actually a giant icy barrier hiding additional continents beyond. Hypothetically, if someone could traverse this frozen wall, they may discover 20 secret continents previously unknown. These mysterious lands have sparked ideas about prehistoric creatures, aliens, and advanced civilizations living there. Interestingly, one concept proposes the 7 continents we inhabit now are like a vast corporate farm owned and controlled by a small group of extremely wealthy families. These elites could originate from the enigmatic undiscovered continents. So, these are 2 very disturbing questions. Why do you think exploring Antarctica was banned? And do you know the truth that there is no real picture?
Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. That is quite a conspiracy. I had the idea of, or I've heard of the idea of the firmament and all these other places and stuff, but for these other people to be from there, wow, that's pretty mind-blowing. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Safe word with your family, create one immediately and watch this video because this AI tech is getting out of control.
I was the intended victim of a scam using my son's voice.
Here's some red flags that you should warn your family about so you or your family doesn't fall victim to the scam. Number 1, the call can come from your real contact. There's something called spoofing, which allows criminals to type in a different number and make it look like their call is coming from that number, which could be the actual number of one of your loved ones or the bank you bank with. The simple way to tell if it's a spoofing call is just hanging up and calling back your real contact.
I don't know about you, but I don't even answer the phone anymore. And if I do, I'm just like standing there silent, waiting for the other person to talk. Is that going to be like the future? Because you can't, like, they say that you can't even say like a vowel or a syllable or something. If you say one syllable, they got you. So
Terrifying Ways to Go, Episode 9. Hisashi Ouchi, the most radiated man in history. On September 30th of 1999, Hisashi, along with a few co-workers, had began the process of mixing uranium into enriched uranium to later be used for nuclear purposes. But little did they know, the men had already far surpassed the amount needed of 5.4 pounds, with Hisashi standing over the tank adding in their 35th pound, more than 6 times what was actually needed, when all of a sudden, a bright blue flash rips through the entire room. And while everyone inside had been exposed to dangerous levels of radiation, Hisashi had been blasted with more than 2 times the lethal dose. Well, immediately, Hisashi can be heard screaming out in agony, as he was instantaneously suffering from immense radiation burns all over his entire body. And within just a couple of minutes, he is also suffering extreme bouts of nausea. Now, during the first few days of his treatment, it was quickly determined there wasn't really much they could do for him. I mean, his DNA had quite literally been obliterated and his white blood cell count was virtually non-existent. It was at this point they sent him to another hospital located in Tokyo. And this is where the true horror began. You see, Hisashi had officially become the most radiated person in history. And rather than keeping him comfortable, they essentially take this opportunity to study its effects on the human body, all the while performing a series of highly invasive tests while keeping him alive for as long as they possibly could. Fairly quickly on, his skin begins to quite literally just fall off. And amid countless skin grafts and various other treatments, absolutely not a single one of them would take. Thus, they would have to end up wrapping his entire body in bandages, which would also have to be periodically changed, in a process that was said to be more painful than anyone could possibly imagine. Well, 59 days after this incident, Hisashi finally went into cardiac arrest. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a single hour. And against his own will, every single time, they resuscitated him, keeping him alive for another 24 days while continuing to perform these excruciating tests, which brings us to 83 days after the incident had occurred. Hisashi finally succumbed one final time. That being said, this incident, along with the experiments that followed, officially went down as one of the most...
okay, before this one even starts, I want to know, what do you guys think? What are these celebrities selling their souls for? Is it really for like little petty things, like for everyone to like them, or money or something? Or do you think it's for something else?
Hold up, did you know that there are celebrities, politicians, businessmen, and people of influence that sell their soul? Why do people sell their soul? People sell their soul to gain the whole world. People sell their soul for money and power. People sell their soul to become famous. People sell their soul to be loved by the whole world. You see, Jesus warned people in the Bible and asked what profits a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul. If you sell your soul, you will go to hell and burn in hell forever. Type "I will not sell my soul" in the comments and subscribe for more to learn about Jesus.
Shadows calling, shadows calling me. I know, falling shadows.
I don't know what they got going on with this car, but it's like a lot of little ticks and stuff on the car. All over the car. Those are bugs.
All right, so whoever is in that car is not okay, and they, I hope, are hopefully getting some help, the help that they need, because they need some serious help with that.
The iPhone might be a symbol of the Antichrist. People are saying that the I in iPhone is actually referring to the I. And if you think about it, the iPhone's hearing and watching everything you say and do all the time. Furthermore, the name Siri spelled backwards is Iris. But that's not the crazy part. If you look at the back of the phone, you'll recognize the bitten apple logo. But what else was an apple with one bite? The instrument Satan used to tempt humans into the first sin of the world. Maybe it's not such a stretch when people say...
Okay, so I know that you have probably already seen this. I have already seen this before, but it is still crazy to me how they named it Siri, which literally means God's gift of love. And isn't it strange they would name it God's gift of love is a cell phone?
yesterday's news story comes fresh off the heels of Tesla already making headlines just recently, with that news story also being fresh off of the heels of something. The release of the Netflix movie, Leave the World Behind, which cryptically and ominously also featured Tesla in its movie, in a way that had the entire world's eyebrows raised. Even those of us with Botox were still saying, huh? As the infamous electric autopilot cars open a new fresh level of hell of fear in the viewers' minds, as the Leave the World Behind producers, the Obamas, and the director chose to use these Teslas in this doomsday apocalyptic movie in a way that many could only safely assume seemed very well thought out, as multiple Teslas, white ones, clogged the entire highway with their autopilot feature, driving full speed all by themselves and crashing into the cars ahead, barricading the main characters and anyone on the island, leaving them stranded with no way to escape, which only days after the release of this film made the global news of the over 2 million Tesla car recall here in America for issues with its autopilot software all that much more bone-chilling to you, me, and well, everybody here on this earth. The people of Earth. If you know, then you know. Oh, Elon knows. Anyways, fresh off the heel of the recall of these 2 million Tesla cars, Tesla has once again found itself front and center and in the spotlight of breaking news. But was it really breaking news? As yesterday's story hit every media outlet and left social media all abuzz, after the entire world read stories much like this. Robot arm attack at the Tesla plant left engineer injured, trail of blood. With many of the stories showing pictures of robots much like this. Tesla robot attacks an engineer at the company's Texas factory during violent malfunction, leaving trail of blood and forcing workers to hit emergency shutdown button. With all of these articles sharing the similar pictures of the Tesla robot, they sure did paint a pretty scary picture of a robot attack on a man. It is like a scene out of Maximum Overdrive. The Terminator. Only making matters worse as you picture that Tesla robot while reading these multiple articles describing a very violent and gruesome attack. At Giga, Texas, an engineer had started to work on 3 robots sometime in 2021. Well, that's now that's odd. Because it's 2023 and we're only hearing about this now. But why? You know Auntie's going to get to that. But didn't realize that only 2 had been shut off. The information reported citing 2 unnamed witnesses. The 3rd robot kept moving and pinned the engineer against a surface, pushing its claws into his body and drawing blood from his back and his arm. After another worker hit an emergency stop button, the victim was able to get out of the robot's grasp and fell down a scrap metal chute, trailing blood behind him, the information said. But why? But why? Why is it 2023 and we are hearing about this now? While all of the news headlines made it seem as though it had just occurred. Why are we hearing about this now? You know I have my theories. I mean, why did we hear about
it? It is so crazy how we have all of these movies and all these predictions and stuff, and people still want these. Oh my god, no. Tell me you guys do not want one of these things. I don't even have an Alexa. I'm afraid of that thing.
So I don't think there's anything bad about it. I think, if anything, it might be like a relative because, like, it's not harmful to us. So it's not, like, bad in that.
This book's just come off this shelf, and I blame you.
Why? Right. As you probably just heard there.
Put some lights on, Ben.
How powerful are they?
Is it broken?
Really strong smell of cigarettes.
Hey, hon. Come here. Look. I don't think it's just down here. Look at that. This is the most active during the day that I've seen. Oh, there goes the Xbox 2. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm not liking this. Oh, wow. Wait. I swear I can see. Ooh, stop it. I'm not liking this. Hun? Let's go to dinner or something for a while. This is on repeat. This happens over and over. And then the knocking happens. The knocking. There it is. And it just goes.
Those would be creepy if I believed them. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are any of those real? I feel like you could just put a motor in a couch or a chair or whatever, and it would do that. I don't know.
A bunch of weirdness going around Elvis right there at the end. That's really all I have in that regard. And here he is on stage once again, looking like a completely different guy than the dude whose eye had just blown out, and he was starting to turn into a turtle. Yeah, he's a little jowly here. Got some jowls going, but very different. Allegedly on drugs or not, I don't care. I ain't never seen no drugs that could do that to a person. Last thing before we go. This is how Google presents that day. If you go through a lot of their stuff. Now, granted, you will be able to find the video you just saw here, but Google doesn't really go out of their way for you to see it. After all, wouldn't want to disturb anyone. You played on the 19th? He played on the 21st. The 21st was South Dakota. There he is. Look at him. Is that the same guy from a while ago? It looked like a turtle? And what is up with that? I don't know. All I know is this. There was a bunch of weirdness going around Elvis right there at the end. That's really all I have in that regard. And here he is on stage once again looking.
I don't remember anyone ever telling me that they ever thought that he was a reptilian or like a frog reptilian, but I can definitely see it a little bit now.
Did P. Diddy groom a very young Justin Bieber? Let's get into it. In a clip from 14 years ago, we see that Justin, 15 at the time, was spending 48 hours living with Diddy, who was 40 years old at the time.
Yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. You're good to go. I'm good to go. Yeah. All right. Then, when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion. Okay. Yeah. The mansion? Yeah.
And back then, people described this video as cute, but now it's described as a red flag, especially this part of the video.
They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose.
And in this clip, Diddy even talks about the time Usher lived with him.
I've been given custody of him. He signed to Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
So why would this 40-year-old want to hang out with this 15-year-old? Not just hang out, like have him live with him for a few days. What do they have in common? And this part where he says he's with me, and then he licks his lips.
He's with me, so we're going full crazy.
And a few years after this, there's a video of Justin and Diddy, and the vibes are awkward.
Are you good? I'm good. How are you? All right, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you tried to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. But you never really got my number, so.
It is obvious that Justin is not very comfortable. He was stuttering. And in the comment section from the first videos, this more recent comment says the hyperbolic time chamber of comments back then, not realizing how obvious this video is literally some 40-year-old creep justifying having a pop-related 15-year-old live with him for 2 days.
This is true. It will be a revolution. According to historical records, the first ancient civilization known to us is that of the ancient Sumerians. They existed over 6,000 years ago, predating the Egyptians. They resided in Mesopotamia, encompassing present-day Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Syria, and Turkey. Over a millennium, the Sumerians, self-described as black-headed people, worshipped gods, known as the Anunnaki. Some speculate they possessed a remarkable understanding of the universe, evidenced by depictions of the solar system. The Sumerians made groundbreaking inventions like the wheel, alphabet, and the calendar we use today. They developed irrigation systems and a sophisticated time measurement system. Some believe their knowledge was bestowed upon them, challenging modern explanations of history. The discovery of 30,000 stone tablets, including the Epic of Gilgamesh featuring a great flood, aligns with events in various religious texts. Scientists link the end of the last ice age to anomalies and rising sea levels, potentially caused by an asteroid impact, leading to widespread devastation. The Great Flood tale may not be a myth, but a means of passing down knowledge. Recent findings like Gobekli Tepe, dating back at least 11,600 years, question Sumerians' age and origin.
Reaction to nukes that is a little bit out of proportion with what they actually do.
Great, I want to hear this.
Well, because, for example, we talk about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and you look at the death toll. It was nuclear weapons, and everyone is reacting. But wait a minute, a few months earlier, in Tokyo, we had an overnight firebombing raid that killed more people than the sum of both of those atomic weapons. And by the way, science went into that. If you bomb a circle, then the middle of the circle is hotter than the outside. That rises, air flows in, points all of the fires inward, and you can incinerate an entire area without having to actually blow up the area.
All right, start expecting to see like little turtles on your TV telling you to duck and cover, because that is what is about to happen. I feel like, I don't know if it's the end of the world or it's just all this predictive programming, but it's something, and it is pretty crazy. I heard the other day that they actually release nuclear weapons on top of places so that it will spread out more. I don't know if that's completely true, but let me know.
Why was the Book of Enoch removed from the Bible? The Book of Enoch was never officially included in the canonical Bible, recognized by mainstream branches of Judaism or Christianity. Its exclusion from the Bible was a deliberate decision shaped by theological considerations. A significant portion of the Book of Enoch is dedicated to the story of the Watchers who descended to earth, cohabited with human woman, and produced hybrid offspring known as the Nephilim. The Book of Enoch contains apocalyptic prophecies foretelling future events, cosmic journey and astronomy, and the secrets of creation. Apparently, these made religious leaders uncomfortable. However, the main reason for Jewish rejection of the book is that it is inconsistent with the teachings of the Torah.
They have all of these stories about the Nephilim and everything, but I would really like to know how they defeated them. Are they the same stories as like pagan stories, or do they have their own stories? That is what I would really like to know. I don't know if anyone's into religion or history out there, but that I would really like to know.
Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey. Oh, Lord.
This statement from Cat Williams was one of the realest statements from his interview. As you can see here, Chris Tucker was on Jeffrey Epstein's flight log. He was on a flight with President William J. Clinton, none other than Bill Clinton himself. He was on the flight with Kevin Spacey. There you can see his name, Chris Tucker, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell. And as you can see here in this picture, it's Chris Tucker with one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims. Like, this picture speaks for itself. That's not even to mention just the people.
Latest predictions from The Simpsons for 2024 are genuinely eerie. This one is absolutely disturbing. In season 24, episode 9, Homer Simpson is preparing a bunker fully stocked with provisions for his family, anticipating something dreadful on the horizon. Shortly after, a solar superstorm strikes Springfield, a silent, invisible tempest sweeping through the town, causing severe consequences. This catastrophic event leads to a complete shutdown. No internet, no electricity, everything comes to a standstill. A solar superstorm could wipe out the internet for weeks or even months or even forever. The portrayal of a solar superstorm in the episode aligns with the potential real-world impact such an event could have. Interestingly, NASA has recently made a shocking discovery, a massive hole in the sun called the Coronal Hole. This hole, large enough to engulf 60 Earth-sized planets, is currently releasing solar storms at a staggering speed of 1.8 million miles per hour and could be headed to Earth fast. The last time the Earth experienced such a storm was in 1859. It was known as the Carrington Event. The 2024 solar storm is predicted to be 60 times more powerful than the 1859 solar storm, possibly the strongest ever recorded in history. Such solar storms can have catastrophic effects on Earth, affecting satellite power grids, GPS, and potentially wiping out hard drives and the entire internet permanently. Might take decades for us to recover. It's only a matter of time.
Okay, so I've been saying a lot about these solar storms and stuff, but to me personally, it just makes me think about Project Bluebeam and how they would implement it and how they would like shut down the internet. I don't really think that it's an actual solar storm, and I think that we would probably like notice it more than just internet going out if there was something that bad going on. I don't know. That's just me though. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to drop that alien emoji if you want to win an Amazon gift card.
Here's a new blind item that is allegedly about Amanda Bynes and Kid Cudi. This rapper slash singer slash seldom actor is being accused by this former A-list dual threat actress of taking her one night and casting spells on her, which caused her to have a breakdown. And again, this is allegedly Kid Cudi and Amanda Bynes. And this first related revealed blind item is from December of 2012. This former almost A-list tweener and now probably a B-/C+ list actress who has had trouble finding work says she feels used by her now ex-boyfriend. He had dumped her before and she begged him to take her back, so he did, but made her film some intimate scenes together. He won't give them to anyone she doesn't think, but as soon as he got them, he dumped her. She also says he borrowed a ton of money from her but had enough to buy his new girlfriend a car. And again, this is allegedly Amanda Bynes. And this second revealed blind item is from June of 2018. Stopped at the door and turned away from a listening party was this former tween/teen/young adult A/A- list actress. The actress was later seen inside after sneaking in through a service entrance after paying a worker $500. She still has a thing for her ex. He saw her coming from about 20 feet away and had some guys take her outside and watch her until she had an Uber pick her up. And again, this is allegedly Amanda Bynes and Kid Cudi.
No idea that they ever dated or that I don't really know anybody that Amanda Bynes has ever dated, to be honest. But for him to put a curse on her, That's a little much.
Okay, you guys know how I've been saying that I don't believe that this Amanda is this Amanda? I just realized another reason why. Do you guys remember way back in the day when Amanda Bynes got her cheeks pierced, the little dimples? This was her picture that she had put up. So she pierced her cheeks, and when you pierce your cheeks, that hole, that dimple stays with you literally forever. And there's surgeries to actually have it removed so that you don't have it. So I don't see those scars here on Amanda Bynes. We can kind of see a little dimple thing right there, but it's very, very faint. And as you can see from here, it's actually a pretty deep hole that stays. So that's why I have a hard time believing that that's the same Amanda. It doesn't look like it. And you can just tell from the lips and the face structure. I don't know. It's giving clone.
Oh my God. Oh. Oh. And they burn it right there.
TikTok user Aaron Explores had a terrifying encounter exploring an abandoned factory. After lowering himself into the basement, his lungs began to burn and his feet began to sink. He then turned on his flashlight and ran. I'll be honest, I thought of Chernobyl. Feeling concerned and unsatisfied after he left, he went back for more footage. This took me through a bit of a rabbit hole, but you can follow him for future updates.
Yeah, it goes about maybe a football field that way. And I've climbed all the way back in here. Hey, it does not appear to be toxic. It does not appear to be toxic at all. But it has been put down here to be forgotten. And there's something very sinister about what is down here. I'm gonna have somebody help me. But in some cases, it's hard to trust people, okay?
Because if you fly over these areas that are burned to the ground, you'll see in the midst of 20 homes that are just totally destroyed, one home sitting there because it had the right roof on it. And anyways.
Did he really just like have a Freudian slip? What roofs, Biden? Is it red roofs or is it blue roofs? Let us know.
What the f is that, dude?
Pretty. I love the blue roofs. 2024, if you don't have a blue roof, you're officially a loser, straight up. Hell, it's not just China. Look at Paris. They're getting in on the trend as well. No shirt, no shoes. Even in Morocco, those roofs are blue. Man, that's awesome. Even in Wangwang, South Korea, man, they are in on the trend as well. Wangwang, that's a real city in South Korea. I should have taken a right at that stop sign, but I went to Wangwang. Hell, even in Greece, where the gods came from, they're getting in on it as well. It's so beautiful. Basically, if you look up any houses in Asia, man, they have all blue roofs as well. You know what else is cool? Check out this news clip from Florida.
It was really late at night. It was kind of around midnight. It was around midnight. I was actually in my car. I was just getting home, and I saw it going back and forth with a laser.
Hey, thanks so much for watching till the very end. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys stay safe out there. See you next time.